Hi, everybody. I'm Charlene Shirk. Welcome to Digital Champions, where we talk to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And today we're going to talk to Dave Savoy of 1-800-Accountant. Dave, thanks so much for joining us today on Digital Champions.
Hey, Charlene. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So tell us a little bit about 1-800-Accountant.
Sure. So 1-800-Accountant provides virtual accounting services to small businesses nationwide. So that is basically a CPA that is with you 24/7, providing bookkeeping support, tax support, payroll, and even business formation support.
And so you have to translate all of that in the digital space. So share a little bit more about how you kind of, it's easy to talk to, or you can market yourself, or how do you take numbers and something that's so intimidating and make it more approachable and understandable while you're online?
Sure. So we grew up being a virtually distributed company even before the pandemic. So our business model was actually well positioned for that. So we've been doing this for years. Um, it allows us to pass through cost savings, so because we don't have the overhead of storefronts, and it's just a lot more convenient. That's just trying to get ahead of the game, so to speak, in terms of where the world is evolving to. So we have accountants across each of the 50 states that are expert in their state's local taxes, as well as having various industry expertise as well. So,
And how do you
when you start
how do you target your
go ahead.
market? That's okay. How do you
Yeah.
target your market through the digital space when you're marketing? Because I guess I figured people are so used to sitting down with their accountant and walking through the process. How do you make them feel comfortable with someone that they're never going to meet in person?
Yeah, I mean, so there's really, I guess, two sides to that answer. One is our addressable market of potential customers is literally every small business owner in the country, regardless of state, regardless of industry. So we need to figure out from within that massive pool of tens of millions of businesses, where do we point our efforts first? And so there's a whole sort of process that goes behind that. But I think to the other side of that question is, how do we make them comfortable transacting with something that's very personal and requires security online. And with that, we've got a secure messaging center, secure portal, as well as an app that you can use to connect securely and directly with your team of accountants, bookkeepers, payroll experts, and so on. So, really, the convenience, I think, is the factor that kind of brings it over the top.
That's your key marketing point. It's convenient because even though we're used to going and sitting down with our accountant and bringing them a pile of paperwork,
Right.
it's not necessarily ever our favorite thing to do.
Oh, for no one ever. Exactly.
And so when clients are coming to you, whether and it sounds like you specialize maybe in that small, medium business market size, what's the pain point they're bringing to you? What's the problem? Why do they feel going online with these services best for their company?
Sure. So I think convenience is a huge factor. Being able to talk with your team of experts on demand is certainly a part of that. And there's also a tremendous cost in if you were to translate that into a physical contact with a local CPA that will charge you by the hour at a very high rate. Whereas our subscription model is basically one flat fee for all you can talk, basically any unlimited support year round for a year's subscription, and so the per contact cost, the per hour cost, is just much lower.
I love that. For as much as you
well
can
as
talk, that cost covers as
Exactly.
much as you can talk.
And people have tons of questions. I mean, the tax code has evolved, as you probably know, substantially over the past several years. And so trying to keep up with all that, especially new things like cryptocurrency and the tax regulations around that, it's getting more and more complex.
And you have the best FAQ I've ever seen on a website for the accounting. I read through some of it and I was like, he's literally addressing every question that I think I've ever had as it relates to a small business and your accounting needs. So what would be the one big piece of advice you would give for someone who's considering going online for a service such as yours?
So let's see. Someone that's considering going online for a service such as ours, consider basically everything that needs to get done in order to do your taxes. So you have to keep your books in order. You've got to process your transactions or categorize them in a certain way so that it's going to best suit your tax needs, right, from a deductibility standpoint. structuring your business, whether it's an LLC or an S corp or some other entity classification election. All of these things kind of roll together. So our services are a bit unique in that we offer all of those products and services under one umbrella, one team of experts at your fingertips. So that by itself, I think, is a huge value add. Where if you were to try and go out to one of our competitors, like a physical location, I'm not going to name any competitors, that just take a look at their pricing model. And the fact that we've been doing this for a number of years means that we've sort of grown up in the space, so that we have literally the most secure and easy to use user experience with our app, with our mobile portal, and so on. So try to look at the whole picture. All of these activities are non-value add for your business. So any minute that you spend doing your own books or doing your own taxes is a minute that you're not spending on your customer or growing your business. So I think it just behooves any small business owner to try to find a solution that's going to best fit their needs, to outsource that to a team of experts that can do it for you, do it better, do it faster, and do it more cost effectively.
Dave, that's all great advice. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure as well. That's Dave Savoy with 1-800-COUNTANT. It's not the sexy part of digital marketing, but it's a very important part of it for us small business owners. And if you'd like to see more about what they do, you can go to dailyadbrief.com. And thank you so much for joining us on Digital Champions. I'm Charlene Shirk, your host, and we'll see you next time.